anti-Trump protesters have been staking out the White House this week. They believe US Attorney General William Barr isn't telling them the whole truth. They say he deliberately left out key elements of Special Counsel Robert Mueller's report into Russian meddling when he presented a heavily redacted version of it to Congress last month. And they're not alone. According to the Washington Post, Mueller wrote to Barr in March. In his letter, he complained that Barr's summary of his investigation did not fully capture its context, nature and substance. He said that's led to public confusion about critical aspects of the results, and he said the confusion threatens to undermine a central purpose for which the department appointed the special counsel, to assure full public confidence in the outcome of the investigations. But while being questioned by the Senate on Wednesday, Attorney General Barr defended the way he handled Mueller's report.
His work concluded when he sent his report to the Attorney General. At that point, it was my baby, and I was making a decision as to whether or not to make it public. And I effectively overrode the regulations, used discretion to lean as far forward as I could to make that public. And it was my decision how and when to make it public, not Bob Mueller's.
According to Barr, Mueller's 448-page report cleared President Trump of conspiracy with the Russians. But it did describe in extensive and sometimes unflattering detail how Trump tried to impede the investigation, although it stopped short of concluding that he'd committed a crime by doing so.
If he had ordered his aides to violate federal law, to save a human life, or to preserve human freedom, he would at least have a moral defense to his behavior. But ordering them to break federal law to save him from the consequences of his own behavior, that is immoral, that is criminal, that is defenseless, and that is condemnable.
In my introduction to the Mueller report, I go through the elements of obstruction of justice. The act itself has to be illegal. It can't be an act that is authorized under Article 2 of the Constitution.
So firing the FBI director?
It's not even a close case.
Mueller's report left it up to Congress to decide. So far, the House Democrats have subpoenaed 3 current and former members of the Trump administration in an attempt to get to the bottom of that question. They've also issued subpoenas for the unredacted version of the Mueller report and for Trump's financial records from Deutsche Bank. And they haven't ruled out issuing one to force Attorney General Barr to be questioned by the House as well. But they're going to face a huge fight from the White House.
Well, the subpoena is ridiculous. But we're fighting all the subpoenas.
The White House hasn't ruled out invoking executive privilege to stop Trump's aides from testifying. But critics say the president is trying to thwart the system of checks and balances enshrined in the Constitution, and that by obstructing a congressional investigation, he could be exposing himself to another avenue for impeachment. Denise Savoya, The Newsmakers.